welcome back to another back issue haul video. I'm very excited about doing this video mainly because it talks about my origins in comics. I'm a huge fan of Marvel Silver and Bronze Age. And this is basically the type of style of videos that I used to do 5 years ago when I first broke into the comic book community. So without further ado, let's get started with this beauty right here, Amazing Spider-Man number 43. This is the third appearance of Rhino. We have a gorgeous John Romita cover right here. So yeah, third appearance of Rhino, technically his second appearance in costume. His first appearance is 41. 42, he is part of the story, but he's not in his costume. So the guide says 43 is his third, and we have to go by the guide, right? Here we have Amazing Spider-Man number 90, a gorgeous Gil Kane and John Romita team up. This is the death of Captain Stacy, George Stacy. So once upon a time, when story plots and consequences were fueled by certitude, you know, Captain Stacy stayed dead. Absolutely always loved this this cover and storyline as well. Amazing Spider-Man number 97. Love this Romita cover. The interiors are actually done by Gil Kane. So 97, yes, the drug issues that were published with no comic code authority. Just observe the rich details in the smoke coming off the glider. That's the one part of this cover that has always had me wanting to track this down. So I got it again for another fantastic price from the warehouse. You know, very excited for this in my collection. Sticking with the Spider-Man theme, this is Marvel Tales Spider-Man issue number 98 and number 99. Of course, we all know these are reprints. One of my holy grails when it comes to comic book stories. It just masterfully sets the character in conflicts in a death of story. Just incredible stuff. Very emotional. Thor issue 150 by Jack Kirby. Guide says that this is the first Hela appearance on the cover. Very bold in her stance. Something about the red covers in Thor's, they're just my favorite. I've always found them to be magical. This is no exception. Just absolutely incredible. This was a fantastic cheap find. Strange Tales number 148. This is from 1966. The cover is done by Bill Everett, and it's the first full appearance of Kalu, and it's also the origin of the Ancient One. Love the dark primaries of the blues and reds. Fantastic Four issue number 142. This is a Rich Buckler cover from 1974, I think. It's the first appearance of Darkoth, who is Desmond Pitt. And as you see, I love the layered use in this cover. It's very, very literal to the story. The next issue actually tells us who Darkoth was, and it's in issue 193, which I also got out of the same bin. This is a Pollard cover. And of course, like I mentioned before, this is the revelation of who Darkoth is, which I mentioned, Desmond Pitt, which I won't mention again. Issue 145 of Fantastic Four. This is the first appearance of Turnek, and what got my attention for this book, this cover, is I recognized the Gil Kane artwork on the cover. Did I mention that I was a huge fan of Gil Kane? A familiar title that I used to haul, and most of you that have been following me for 5 years, I guess, would recognize. I remember I used to pull a lot of the champions out of the bargain bins, and I was needing issue 14. Another great cover by the master Gil Kane, and this one has John Byrne interiors. It's the first appearance of this character right over here, Swarm. Pretty cool find for $1. This was Captain Marvel number 33. That is a Jim Starlin cover. I'm not really a fan of this drawing of Thanos, but of course the purples pull me in. I love the glow coming off of the character. This is actually an origin story of Thanos, so for $1 it's a great read for someone like myself who's not very versed in the character of Thanos. Captain America issue number 126 from 1970. The great Jack Kirby on the cover here. Stan Lee's story. This is the first appearance of Diamond Head and the Diamond Head gang. Very thought-provoking issue. The Diamond Heads are a gang that is racist towards white people. So they are basically the equivalent colored version of the Ku Klux Klan. Striking Captain America covers that blend well with the staple primaries of blue and red. Love it when it's yellow. Just goes perfect together. Issue number 144, John Romita cover as well, and he does some interiors. This is the Cap and Falcon splits, as you can see there by the cover, and it also features the first appearance of the FemForce, who is actually a SHIELD combat unit. This book also has a Richard Nixon appearance. So more Captain America bargain bins. This is issue 176, another John Romita cover from 1974. This is the issue where Steve Rogers quits as the Captain. Issue 179 has a Ron Wilson cover. First appearance of the Golden Archer, who is in fact Hawkeye. So the Golden Archer, Hawkeye, tricking Steve to take back the mantle as the Cap. And this lot of books was purchased from a thrift shop. They all came in a bag all together, and you guys can guess who I got in this lot. Very easy to tell, I guess. You guys all know this is the arc that featured Crossbones. So we have issue 358. These covers were done by Dwyer and Milgram. Then we have, I think 359 has the cameo of Crossbones. I guess he's standing on the boat with binoculars, and then this is 360. Or is it reversed? Not sure. And we have 361. All for $2.99 in the bag of... They all came in the same bag for $2.99. Luke Cage Power Man, issue 20. This is the second appearance of Cottonmouth. Luke Cage is probably in my top 5 of Bronze Age comics of all time. They're just vivid and well-placed covers, usually taking place at great heights. They're just so vibrant and thrilling. It's the main reason why this title and this character got my attention at a very young age. Out of the 50 cent bin, I got issue number 32, fantastic reader copy. This one has the Ron Wilson cover. It's the first appearance of Wildfire, who just missed blasting Luke Cage at point blank. Pretty hilarious. Was lucky to come across this high-grade copy of issue number 33, the first appearance of Spear. Basically a villain who uses elaborate spears. Oh, the cover is done by Ron Wilson and Romita, but I see more Romita in this cover than I do Wilson. And out of the 50 cent bin, I got issue 35. Loving the reader copies for 50 cents. This cover is done by Mary Severn. See right there. I'll just take a moment here to show you some Marvel team-ups that I picked up out of the dollar bin. This is Marvel team-up number 7. Gil Kane. Number 9 is Mr. John Romita. Very recognizable cover. Number 12 is John Romita and Gil Kane team-up. As you can see, the cityscape in the background. A nice staple from Mr. Kane. This is also the first appearance of Moondark. Oh, and this issue actually takes place almost right after from Amazing Spider-Man 121 to 122, The Death of Gwen Stacy. And we have issue 40, which features the Sons of the Tiger. This cover is done by Sal Buscema. Alright, Avengers number 60 by John Buscema. This is the second appearance of Yellow Jacket, and this also features the wedding of Wasp. Not really a fan of white covers and floating heads, but this cover, for some reason, I don't mind it at all. This is a pretty fun cover. I just love the colors to this Avengers number 232, which features the first time Star Fox joins the Avengers. Something about this space background and the floating heads, I don't know, I guess I'm just warming up to them. Oh, the cover is done by Milgram and Sinnott. All these Avenger books were 50 cents, except for the Avengers 60. This is issue number 278. It's a John Buscema cover as well. And this is the issue where Wasp leaves the Avengers. Pretty interesting cover here. It looks like Tyrak is gonna lay a beating on She-Hulk. And again, still got it for 50% off $1 to 50 cents. This is Avengers number 326, which is a very high grade copy of the first appearance of Rage. Paul Ryan, one of my favorite Bronze Age covers, belong to the Incredible Hulk serial. This is issue number 155, gorgeous Herb Trimpe framed portrait cover. This is the first appearance of Shaper of Worlds. Basically, he's a Skrull. He has Skrull-like features, and the lower half of his body looks like a tank. So, got it for an incredible price. These are like really cheap. This one here, number 164, is actually detached. So I got this one for, I think, in the $2 bin. So 164, of course, again, Herb Trimpe right there underneath the Hulk trademark. And this is the first appearance of Captain Omen, who's right over there, and his unhumanoid henchmen, who actually have a striking resemblance to Colossus from number 268. A very high grade copy of Frank Miller art on Incredible Hulk. There's Pariah, and of course purple brings me to my knees. Alright guys, closing in on this video, let's go backwards with numbering here. This is issue number 17 of The Savage She-Hulk. Mike Vosburg, the first Man-Elephant. Sorry, Vosburg is the cover artist. Man-Elephant is that elephant on the cover. Number 3, Rich Buckler. Very action-packed cover here. You can actually feel the shards of glass. This is the third appearance of She-Hulk, if you're wondering, in the $2 bin. Let's go down to number 2. These copies are in very high grade. This is done by John Buscema. Love this cover right here. Very convincing cover displaying the power of She-Hulk. Absolutely crushing that bus. And also in the $2 bin, it's She-Hulk number 1. The first appearance of She-Hulk. Look at that. Very excited. So happy to come across this beauty. And there you go, guys. That is just one half of my Silver and Bronze Age haul with a few Copper Age inside. Stay tuned. Got a pile more to come. See you later.